Hey, you! Yeah, you! I'm glad to see you made it to the Binger. I'm sure it's been a stressful day, but you know what? You got a friend in me. Sit back and relax and pop open your favorite Dinoco branded soda. Honestly, what better way to spend your time than to discover the messed up secrets that lie within the animation of Disney Pixar? Let's start off with a super hidden Easter egg that we never caught on our first viewing. In Toy Story 3, Andy is grown up and ready to attend college. His mother orders him and his sister to donate all of their junk, as Andy calls them, to Sunnyside Daycare. By the way, let us just collectively cringe right now in pain because Andy called his best friends, the toys that loved him for years, junk. His sister Molly is too busy reading Tween Zine to pack her things. But let's just take a look at that magazine for a second. In the bottom right corner, you can see an image of a girl in pigtails, smiling and wearing purple. Who do you think that looks like? If you said Thanos, well, you'd be wrong. But thank you for the snarkiness. No, it is none other than Darla, one of the villains of 2003's Finding Nemo. She is the dreaded niece of the Australian dentist in the movie. Bratty and entitled, she is known for shaking fish bags, screaming, and being pretty darn creepy overall. So why is Darla on the cover of Tween Zine? We postulate that having a wealthy dentist in the family helped lead her to some level of celebrity in the Pixar universe. I mean, it wouldn't even be the first time either. The fish in Finding Nemo regard her presence with a certain degree of infamy. She could have brought that attitude to the human world. As we all know, being an entitled, wealthy diva will always make you famous. So it's not inconceivable that Molly is reading about the Australian tween sensation by the time that Toy Story 3 rolls around. We're all aware of that outtake in Toy Story 2 where the bugs from A Bug's Life banter on a leaf just as Buzz Lightyear runs past. But did you know that A Bug's Life may just be a children's book in the Pixar universe? It's true. Going back to the Toy Story sequel, we can find Mrs. Potato Head reading a picture book that clearly shows stills from the bug-centric animation. Now, why would Toy Story contain this Easter egg if it did not appear to be so blatantly telling? In addition, you can even find memorabilia of the film and toys present in the store that Buzz sneaks into. You cannot tell us that that is a coincidence, especially with the appearance of the book. One more piece of evidence can be found in Toy Story 3. On the wall of the Sunnyside Daycare is the name Ada, a character from A Bug's Life. This can be justified as the name of a character in a children's book, perhaps one popular with kids at the daycare? We also notice that A Bug's Life is the only original Pixar film to not receive a sequel. That may be because the movie is merely an adaptation of a kid's story, never intending to move past its first outing. And before you stop this argument by pointing back to the outtake, we must stress that that is absolutely not canonical with the movie. It was just a cute little joke placed right at the end for the Pixar fans. This is another blink and you'll miss it Easter egg that leaves some mystery to the only known golden retriever in the Pixar universe. During Ratatouille, we can find Remy the Rat scrambling through a house, set to some wonderful music. One section of this sequence features a silhouette of a doggo. When you pause the film and really take a gander at this pupper's shadow, it looks quite familiar. After watching up, we immediately recognize that it belongs to Doug, the adorable speaking doggerino found in the aforementioned movie. We sure are glad that we sniffed this one out because we were afraid that we were barking up the wrong tree there. Why is Doug in this house? And more importantly, why is he barking instead of speaking? In Up, Doug is given a technologically advanced collar that translates his thoughts to speech understandable to humans. However, this golden retriever that looks exactly like Doug isn't saying anything besides, well, bark. We can only assume that this is Doug's original home before he was a member of that pack of loyal canines owned by Charles Muntz, the bad guy of Up. Muntz provided the collar, so we presume our furry friend had a previous owner. In France, checkmate Pixar, and don't you forget it. I should say that we don't apologize for using the Toy Story franchise so much here. I mean, there are just too many messed up secrets just waiting to be uncovered. One thing that we can say about Disney and Pixar is that they really do love consistency. Take the corporation by and large, for example. In WALL-E, the company buys the entire United States government, along with everything else in society. The transit system, the electronics, even food is owned by and large. The film takes place in a dystopian future, but how did it get its start? Look no further than Toy Story 3. During the second act of the movie, Buzz Lightyear has his back removed, revealing his batteries. Just take a wild guess which company makes his batteries. Yep. By and freaking large, my friends, this evil corporation got its start powering up the toys of Toy Story, pulling all the strings in the background. This may also be related to Dinoco, an energy company also seen in the Toy Story series as a gas station. Dinoco also appears in the Cars franchise as a major sponsor. When we think about it, Dinoco really should have been the rulers of humanity in WALL-E. Notice that in the film, Earth is destroyed by abusing its atmosphere. An energy corporation should be responsible for that. Could it be that by and large started its monopoly by merging other well-known companies? We don't see Dinoco in WALL-E, and that is no coincidence. Let's get into some Monsters, Inc. The premise of the film goes like this. The stories about monsters hiding under the bed to scare children are all true. Those scares are used as a fuel source in the monster dimension, so frightening kids at night tends to be more of a job than a hobby. However, some monsters really like it. Take Randall, for example, the creepy purple reptile that serves as one of the main antagonists in Monsters, Inc. He can blend into any background like a chameleon or an octopus. To practice his scaring, Randall has a slideshow presented behind him filled with various wallpapers. One of those is a sky blue backdrop with a white cloud pattern. The messed up part of this wallpaper is that we all know which room Randall visits at night. He scares Andy, the kid featured in the Toy Story series. Haha! And you thought we were done with Toy Story? Check out the first 3 films of the franchise, and right out of the gate, you're gonna see that clouded wallpaper. Given the fact that Pixar loves its consistency and its tendency to call back to previous movies, there is no doubt in our minds that Randall has likely stepped on Woody. If we can watch Sully hold a Jessie doll at the end of the movie, then it can't be out of the question. Inside Out is a beautiful animated movie. It delves into the psychology of a tween-age girl, Riley, who is forced to change her whole life as she begins to grow up. The main characters are embodiments of essential human emotions: joy, sadness, fear, anger, and disgust. Joy deals with her troubles by falling back into nostalgic memories stored away in Riley's memory bank. As she watches one, we see a montage of the girl's family playing hockey, laughing together, and posing in front of dinosaur statues. Now, if you've seen The Good Dinosaur, then you know where we're going with this. Pixar's often forgotten animation, The Good Dinosaur, was, as the name entitled, a story about dinosaurs. When you see the statues in Riley's memory, it appears that 2 characters made cameo appearances. The Styracosaurus resembles the pet collector, and the tail of the protagonist dinosaur Arlo is briefly seen passing by in a quick shot. Our theory is that these statues were made based on the specific fossils of those 2 dinos. It doesn't mean anything to the plot of Inside Out, but it's just a bit messed up when you think about it. Yes, we hear you say. You already know about the Pizza Planet trucks. You know that the fictional food chain is present in nearly every movie developed by Pixar. You see it in Up, you see it in Monsters, Inc., blah, 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 blah. End of story. But wait, we wanted to highlight one Pizza Planet Easter egg and examine just how screwed up it actually is. As we mentioned before, WALL-E is a dark future where the Earth has fallen into despair, and humanity has succumbed to the whims of monopolistic authorities, namely by and large. The super advanced robot, Eve, briefly friends an old beat-up car in a garbage heap after being awoken by WALL-E. For fans of Pixar, we recognize it as the Pizza Planet truck. But did you notice how it does not appear to be owned by the evil by and large? Remember that this is a world dominated by this conglomerate, meaning that there are very few companies left out there. We find it particularly depressing that the beloved pizza chain is one of the last non-by and large businesses left before the humans leave Earth for a healthier planet. I guess you could say that once by and large left, Earth truly became a pizza planet. We will hold for applause. We have to admit that the first few minutes of Up are the saddest, most tear-wrenching moments of any Pixar film. It starts off with Carl Fredricksen meeting Ellie for the first time as children. Then it flashes quickly into their marriage ceremony. Then their happy life together. It then becomes more tragic as Ellie learns that she can't conceive and start a family with Carl. They instead decide to plan a big excursion to South America, a place that they have always wanted to explore. But they were never able to hold on to any savings for long. Before they knew it, they became old and frail, and unfortunately it ends with Carl alone and depressed, without his beloved Ellie. Pretty sad, right? Then why didn't Andy's family attend the funeral? I'll explain. In a deleted scene in the trailer to Toy Story 3, you can actually spot a postcard from Carl and Ellie in Andy's room. In the movie itself, you can find a similar postcard in the house. So Andy's family were friends with the Fredricksons by the time Andy was college-aged. So they were close enough to send letters to each other. Yet when you try to look for any people that even vaguely resemble the Toy Story family in the funeral shot, you come up short. As Pixar is known for their attention to detail, this cannot be a simple misstep. Why even bother to insert that Easter egg into Toy Story 3 at all? We can only conclude the messed up truth about Andy's family. They never really cared about Carl and Ellie. Dun 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 dun. What sociopaths? We're sure Andy called them junk too. We give Sid such a hard time, but we should be looking out for the true maniacs of this franchise. Woody, Buzz & Company were lucky to have moved on to another owner, but let us hope that Bonnie does not turn out to be as shamelessly cruel as Andy or his family. So, we've learned some pretty messed up Pixar secrets. What are your thoughts though? Do we sound insane? Let us know in the comments section down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to us, The Binger.